Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear students. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. I hope my voice is loud and clear. All of us can hear as well. Okay, all right, I've got a confirmation. So, Alhamdulillah, for today's session, we are going to take questions live from the students now that the semester has commenced, and we are almost 9 days into the semester. And first of all, I would like to congratulate each one of you for commencing this journey of knowledge with IOU. And may Allah reward you immensely for that very intention, for that very effort, time, commitment that you all are exerting in order to complete your studies. And these studies are not just any studies. These studies are that which aligns with both the dunya as well as the akhirah. So may Allah reward you for that, and for you to take out the time and come to the session as well today, so that you can get your questions answered. It just goes to show your diligence and how eager you are to ensure that your studies are on the right track. Alhamdulillah. So far, with almost 9 days into the semester, dear students, how are you feeling? What is your experience like? What do you feel with regard to the courses? So how is it going? Go ahead and type it in the chat box. Come on, students, how is it going in terms of your studies? Have you started? Okay, alhamdulillah. The one response Brother Abdullah says that has been going really good. If you face any issues in terms of semester schedule not sitting in with your schedules, different commitments, and so on and so forth, don't panic with regard to that. You will see that inshallah it starts settling in really soon. So give it time till this week and a couple of more days, and then you will find a middle way which will work out so that you can do both your semester studies as well as you can manage your different engagements as well. Now, before I begin, I just wanted to quickly run you through a few components of the dashboard. We had done this in the orientation as well, wherein you had received a video which was taking you through the different components on the dashboard, but just a quick run through. The most important section for you as of now would be your event schedule, which is right at the top. I suggest that if you want to navigate along with me, you can do so. Now, when you click over here, it says click here. This is where you can click to get your event schedule. Now, this is customized for each and every student, wherein you will see that the event schedule, if you are a BIS student, you will see an event schedule which is applicable to the degree students. And if you are a master student, then you will see an event schedule only applicable to the master students. Okay, so your event schedule is customized as per your program that you are enrolled into. The schedule is extremely important. If you can take a printout of this and keep it for yourself, that would be great, because you can actually mark which dates are applicable to you, and you can also have your schedule, your own commitments. You can schedule it around the exam dates, around the assignment dates, around the final exam dates as well. Now, apart from the event schedule, you can see under academics, there are a number of blocks that are there under documents, under requests. So the first thing, if you have a question or if you have any issue that you face, and I'm not referring to the live question and answer session now, I'm referring to otherwise, make sure that you come to the dashboard over here, and then you have a look at the different blocks that are put and what all options are there underneath it. And then that would somewhere, it would resolve your query or it would resolve your question right then and there. Of course, if there is something which is more pressing and you're not able to understand still, you can definitely reach out to us. But instead of, if you need an instantaneous answer, then you can try to get these responses or try to get that portal or the link directly from the dashboard over here. The second main important thing, the main thing that I wanted to draw your attention to is the exam centers, especially for students who are in the revised programs, which is the Bachelor's of Science in Banking and Finance, for the BAIS new students, that is the fall 2022. If you are a first semester student of fall 2022 in BAIS, for those students, for psychology students, again, first semester fall 2022 who are in the revised program. For these students, this applies to BBA, B.Ed as well. You have to give your midterms in the exam center. It is unlike the other programs wherein the midterm is given at home. So you need to be well prepared in advance. So it says 8th November is your mid-semester exam. So you need to ensure that you are well prepared for it, that you need to go and give your exams in the center itself. Now, how do I know what center, which is my center? How do I know how to register for it and so on and so forth? Within a couple of days, you will have this top where it says exam center that will be activated. And from there, you can access all the information. But even prior to that, on the main IOU site, there is an entire section for exam centers. And over here, even before the portal activates, you can look up for information on exam center requirements, approved exam centers, and proctor information. The next link that I would like you to have a look at is the IOU approved exam centers. And here we have a list of all the exam centers in each and every country across the globe where IOU has a center. That has been listed over here, and you can filter it as per your country and see which one would you like to see. Now, this entire list is particularly useful if you would like to register for a non-resident center. For example, you are currently in a certain country, but during the exam, you may not be in that country. You may be outside temporarily and not permanently. In that case, you can definitely have a look at all the exam centers through this link so that you have a pretty good idea about what is available and where it is available. And in case any of those centers are not accessible to you, then you can always recommend or suggest a new center, and we will start the process of approving it and going through the entire process of adding it to our list. Okay, so this is in a gist. Of course, as soon as the exam center link opens up, you will definitely be given a detailed instruction set on what it is. But time and again, you will receive reminders, and even I'm informing you right away that please make sure that we do not delay any matter regarding the exam centers, because it may get a little too hectic towards the end. And another advice over here is not to keep the exams or attempting the exams to the very end. There may be technical issues. There may be issues regarding the center itself. There may be some unexpected issues that will be there, and that would in turn affect your course progress, because especially for the revised programs, as we are aware that the number of credit limits and the number of chances that you're given to complete a course are limited. So if that is wasted in probably in delaying giving the exams and so on, then you may lose out on the chance to complete the course itself. Okay, so that was just a little thing. The exam centers are very important. That's the reason I did explain that right at the beginning. And now I will just start taking the questions that you have started sending on the YouTube chat. Okay, so the first question is my sister Aisha. My question is, how do we come to know about live sessions? If you go to your dashboard, right, you will see under academics, there is a block which says live session info. When you click on that, you will get a detailed list of live sessions that are applicable for your course. Now, what you see over here is a number of courses. This is only because you're seeing an access, which is an admin access, but you will be able to see the courses only that are applicable to you. Now, this will give you a schedule of all the live sessions that are applicable in your particular course. All these timings are UTC timings. Please be very careful of that so that you do not join 6:15, say suppose 402 Saturday 29 October. You're not joining at 6:15 your local time. You have to convert it to UTC time. And the best way to check that what is the UTC time is if you see on your dashboard, right at the top corner, it shows you the UTC time, and that is how you can check how far ahead or how behind you are from the UTC time. The next question is, can you walk us through the online system? Brother, if you are referring to a particular course as to how we have to go through it, then I will take up one basic course to show you how we can run through it. This was also taken, we had done this in the orientation as well, and there is a video for it, but just very briefly, I'm going to run you through how to go about a course. So you can see, I have just picked one random course that is Aqeedah 101. You have the course forums at the top. You have announcements, ask the teacher, student discussion forums, and technical feedback forum. What this is if you have any announcements pertaining to that selected course only, please understand, not the entire IOU program, but to your specific course, then such announcements will be put by a teacher over here. Ask the teacher if you have any question for the teacher regarding the course, you can ask them through this forum. Student discussion forum is wherein you post or initiate a discussion for your fellow students in that course to respond to. So whoever is enrolled in that course, for example, I am looking at Aqeedah 101. So whoever is enrolled in Aqeedah 101, they will involve in a discussion on this forum over here. Okay, so these are the forums. You have all your course text and study material placed under one block. And here, it is always advisable to download all of these files and keep it on your desktop in a separate folder. The best practice over here would be to make a proper folder for each course and put all of this material over there in these course blocks. Now, course notes section has got notes not supplied by IOU, but they are put there by the seniors. So IOU does not take liability for those notes. But having said that, some of the notes are excellent. If you feel that they are good, they have given you a good information breakdown, you can refer to it, but we do not hold responsibility for the validity of the information that is there in those notes. So students cannot use those notes and then tell that this was a question and we wrote it according to the notes and this is the proof, then that will not be considered. Next block is live sessions. If there are any live sessions that are applicable for you, that will be placed in this block. You will see the live session links to the upcoming sessions and also those sessions which have passed by, right? So you can have a look at it and see how those sessions go ahead. After that begins your modules, wherein you have module 1, 2, 3. These are your actual chapters. Here, for example, in module 1, what topic is being covered will be put at the beginning. And then the reading assignment. Now, this reading assignment are those specific pages that are applicable to this module only. And where do I get this book? Where do I get the fundamentals of Tawheed and all of that? All of it is under the course text and study material. You will find the book over there. That's where you need to go and download the book. Following that, you have module 1 audio, and then you have the video. Now, the video is divided into 3 parts. There will be chunks of 15-minute videos, and the audio is nothing but the audio of all of these 3 videos. Okay, so if you are on the move and you're not able to sit in one place and listen to the video, then you can download the audio onto your device and then you can listen to it. Or it also helps in revision. So that is the same thing. It's not that you must listen to the audio and the video. You can pick any one option. After you're done with that, you have to give the module 1 test, which is basically a set of 5 MCQ questions, multiple choice questions. And once you complete that test, only then module 2 will be module 2 test will be activated for you. Without completing module 1 test, module 2 test is not going to be activated, and you have all the other courses also, all the other modules are also listed in the same way, wherein you have the topics, you have the reading assignment, and so on and so forth. Now, one thing students usually ask is, what's the pass mark for a module test? There is no passing mark for a module test. Even if you score 0 on 5, you will be allowed to proceed to module 2. However, if you are scoring 0 and 5, then we would definitely advise that you go back to the course and check where have you missed out, what part have you not understood, because these module test questions are similar to the questions that will come in your midterm as well as your final exams. Okay, now when you scroll down further, you have all your modules, and then you have your assignment, which is placed right at the middle of the course page. So if you have 34 modules in a program, then you have, after the 17th module, you will have the assignment. If you have 20 modules in a program, after the 10th module, you will be able to see the assignment question. And for the assignment, I will not be getting into the assignment details, but when you click on the assignment, it will show you what assignment is there, what has to be done with it, when is the submission, all of those details will be given over there along with the question. The assignment questions will be released by the first week of October. Okay, now you have study questions. These are midterm study questions. Another question that students usually ask is the midterm study questions. Do we only study from these questions? No, it doesn't work that way. These are only going to help you prepare for the exams, but the questions are not to be studied only from that. Below that, you will have the midterm exam, and this link will be activated only when it is time for the exam. Before that, you will not be able to see or access any link under the midterm exam. So now if you go and check, don't think that why isn't the link available? Why can't I see it? You will not be able to see it unless it's time for the exam. And then the modules continue again. And similarly, at the end, you will have your final exam. One last thing over here is at the right side, and this is important, you have your teacher contact at the right side. You can contact your teacher. The email ID of the teacher, the phone, and the office times are given. Below that, you have the evaluation scheme, wherein you're seeing the session tests carry 15% of the marks. I was referring to the module test. That's the one it is. Midterm exam 30%, final exam 40%, assignments 15%, and the passing mark is 50%. All right. Components. This is another important section which shows you the total number of modules for this particular course. The number of modules that you need to study for your midterm exam is 17. Number of modules that you need to study for your final exam is 17. Now, please note, for the final exam, you will have the post-midterm semester, the post-midterm modules are the most important, but you will definitely get around 5% to 10% of questions from the pre-midterm modules as well. But in case of Arabic, you would have to study from module 1 till the end, because questions can be across from module 1 till the end. And then you see the number of assignments is 1. Okay, so that is a brief run through of your course page and how to study through the online system. The The recordings are a little outdated in terms of assignments given by the lecturers. The assignment questions that are given to you are based on what the current trends that are there, and they are based on, you can pick up this information from the textbook and what you have studied. So now how do you connect that information to what's happening in the present time is basically what is being analyzed over here as well. So that is one key criteria over there. I still did not enroll because of a technical issue from IOU side. I'm not sure who this is. So if the technical issue is there, I hope you have initiated an email to help desk. And if it is giving you an error regarding credits or something of that nature, then rest assured it will be resolved and we will get back to you on it. Okay. Brother Waleed, please, assignment, how do we get to submit it? Like I mentioned, for the assignment, you will get detailed instructions. If as of now, I wouldn't like to go into it, but you will have it will have a portal over there wherein you are required to, if it's accessible, right? So here, you will have a portal over here which will allow you to submit the assignment. So you can click on that and then go ahead with the submission. Like I was referring, you will have all instructions given here when your assignment is activated for you. And this, as you can see, will be your assignment question. Please don't go by what you're seeing on screen now in terms of the dates and so on and so forth. Like I said, this is the admin access, but just so that you have an idea as to how it will look like and what is expected from you as a student. Their exam, Sister Mariam, there's exams I can't take. It's like blocking it. Sister Mariam, I'm not able to understand your question. What is blocking the exams? Okay, the next question. How do you all know what module you're working on? I can't see any module in my dashboard. All I can see is unit 1 to the number of unit on the dashboard. Is it the same with all? Are you referring to, so under module 1, you will have it like unit 1 or so on and so forth. Or if in some of the courses, for example, in some of the new courses, instead of module, it will be written as unit. It is one and the same thing. Okay, so if you're seeing it as unit 1, unit 2, then it's the same thing. The procedure remains the same. The name may be different. Some of you will see module, the others will see unit, especially the ones who are enrolled in the new programs. Yes, units are modules. That's correct. Okay, there is a problem with English ENES altogether. Okay, Brother Wayne, if you can explain what the issue is, or otherwise, if there is a detailed issue, I suggest that you put an urgent tag and send it to help desk. If that's restricting you from completing or attempting the course, you can add an urgent tag and send it to help desk, and we'll get back to you on it at the earliest. Brother Omar, is it a must to study English language for the Arabic language studies? If you are in the BAALS program, then whatever courses are listed for you, it is mandatory for you to complete it, without which you will not be given the program certificate. So the whole idea of IU programs is holistic education. So yes, it may be an Arabic language program, but there is certain levels or certain programs that certain courses that the students are expected to do so that they have the foundational level going. Sister Aisha, how do I know the assignment has been given? A formal announcement will be made that the assignment questions have been released. As students, there's another thing I would highly recommend you to do is that on your course dashboard, you have a page which says announcements, the tab which says announcements. As students, please make it a habit that you are constantly checking the announcements page, because as soon as an announcement is released, by default, we send an email to the students. But then sometimes, or I would say quite often, these emails are marked as spam and the students miss it in their inbox. So as a student, even if you check the site's news, say once a day, That would suffice, but please make it a habit to check it because all important information is displayed over there. Okay, does the exam center include certificate for psychology? If you're referring to the midterm exams, does CPSY, certificate in psychology, have to attempt the midterms in the center? No. What is revised BAIS? Revised BAIS is basically a new set of the courses, not entirely new, but certain changes have been made to the syllabus of the old BAIS program, and that will that is having, for example, Tajweed is not there in the new BAIS set, in the new BAIS program. So certain changes have been made. The revised, whenever I use the word revised, I mean that there will be changes in the exam pattern, there will be changes in the enrollment pattern. So those are the changes that have been made in the BAIS program. Now, if you would like to have a look at which or how does the new BAIS curriculum look like, I can yeah. One moment. So I hope you're able to see my screen for the BAIS. If you see now, this is the new curriculum. How the new curriculum looks like is this way. On the same page, you have a tab that shows the old curriculum, so you can use that to compare. So this is the new curriculum for BAIS, and that's the revised BAIS. What is the question pattern? The question pattern is going to be, now, once again, if you are in the old programs and you are not in the revised programs, when I say revised programs, I'm referring to BAIS new semester, fall 2022, Bachelor's in Psychology, fall 2022, first semester, Islamic Banking and Finance, fall 2022, first semester. B.Ed program, again, if it's a specialized, the B.Ed English that is there, fall 2022. And then you have the BALS as well, the Bachelor of Arts in Arabic Linguistics, that one as well. So these and the BBA program for fall 2022. These programs are the revised programs. These programs specifically have two exam sets or two exam patterns. One will be open-ended, that's part A, and then part B will be your objective type, that is a multiple choice questions. So open-ended, you would have to write answers, complete answers. You would have to type the complete answers in, whereas for the MCQs, of course, you have to select. But for questions which are which for the other programs, other than what I've just mentioned, for them there is only MCQs, that is multiple choice questions, be it in the module test, be it in the midterm exam, be it in the final exam. But for the revised programs, the unit tests are going to be, the unit test will be the MCQs, whereas in the midterm and the final exams, you will have both open-ended as well as the objective type questions. Okay, Sister Nashreen says, this is my second semester. Am I in the revised courses? No, sister, if you are the BAIS program and you are in the second semester, then you are not in the revised course. You have the option to switch over to the revised BAIS program. However, you would lose out on all progress of your first semester because those credits will not be transferred. So if you are okay to start from scratch, start fresh, then you can email us at helpdesk and we will make the change for you. How to show subtitles on the video, Brother Muhammad? I'm sorry, but subtitles have not been activated on all videos. At some points you might have, and there will be a caption or a CC option that you need to click, but that's only for some of the courses. Brother Wayne, I would suggest that if you are if the content is not aligning with the grades or the exam questions that are given or the answers that are marked, then you can raise a complaint through the MCQ error reporting portal. So you have error reports block. You can see MCQ error reporting over here. please click on that and submit the question that you feel has been graded wrong, but you would have to provide proof for that as well. Once you do that, we will check it, and if what you have stated is correct, your grades will be reinstated, but if they are incorrect, then your request will be rejected. Okay, Sister Rose, if we have questions about, and thank you for asking that question, is anyone else enrolled and do we feel it's moving too fast? I suggest that as students, we have these discussions on the student discussion forum, or otherwise we have our Telegram groups as well. So what happens is that we can communicate this with our fellow students that are enrolled in the course, and they might guide us as well. So they might have strategies. The Telegram groups have the seniors on them as well. So they will give us strategies in order to move in a better way and maximize the studies. So I would definitely suggest that we get onto those Telegram groups, or otherwise you can use the student discussion forum to initiate a discussion as well. Yes, the exam center tab is not open currently. It will be open at a later date. And when it is open, you can go through all of those details. And as soon as it is open, dear students, please go ahead and start the registration process. Before you start the registration process, as a mandate, call up the center, check with them, go and check their availability, and confirm with them if they are okay to take you or in their center for the exam, and if they will be available, and only then register for the center. Please do not just randomly click on a center and then register, because it is possible that many centers, especially with the pandemic and so on, many centers are now not existing. They may not be available. We might have added new centers, or otherwise the person in charge is not available. So they will not be knowing what we are referring to. So once we inform them, they might go and rectify their information, or they must give us different other information. So always speak to them before registering with us. Another point about exam centers, some exam centers will charge a fee for utilizing their services. In such cases, please note that IOU has no share in that fee, and that fee is solely charged by the center themselves. And so we get queries saying that the center is charging such a fee, so can that be waived off? So please note that we do not charge this fee, and that is by the center. So if you feel that you do not want to pay this fee, you are free to suggest a new center or go and find another center and apply for that. Is there any live session classes? Like I just mentioned, you can click on live session info on the dashboard and you can have a look if there are live session classes. Yes, some courses do have live sessions, especially the new one. One easy way for you to identify that is if all the sessions that are set to be in the month of October are Jan. October is specifically referring to our midterm revision sessions, and the Jan sessions are referring to the final exam revision centers. If you see any other month other than October or Jan, that means these are regular sessions. For example, classroom management, EGO 104, it says Saturday at 12:30, which means that every Saturday, 12:30 UTC time, you will have classroom management live session. The next question is, I was unable to pay the fees using a Visa debit card, but later on I tried. Okay, so I don't think that's a question. I think we students are conversing. Okay, next question by Sister Nadia. I'm doing the B.Ed program. My question is regarding the community service. Am I restricted to teaching in a Muslim community, privately owned school, or can my current teaching be considered? We are basically considering giving back to the community. So if it is more of a Muslim base, then that is acceptable. But if you are teaching elsewhere, we would suggest that you send the details of that place where you're teaching to the community service portal, or otherwise you can email it to help desk and we will check if that's applicable, and then you can proceed with it. Want live sessions with teacher at least once a week. Okay, the next question. My computer can't process the supplementary sessions. Are these sessions needed to pass? No, you don't need these sessions to pass, but you would need in some courses in the component section, if they mention live session 5% score, then you would have to attend those live sessions. That is only for some courses and not all. There's a very few number of courses. If you're not able to bypass those sessions, you're facing an issue, please take a screenshot of that issue and email it to help desk so that we can guide you on how to access it. The reason being that it is different for different systems. It may be different for Apple users. It may be different for the different devices that are there. Next question by Hamda. Are marks of assignments after each modules will be added to the overall marks? Okay, if you're referring to the assignments that the instructor says in the videos, then no. Those assignments are not contributing to your final score in any way. But the assignment that is contributing to your final score is the one that I just showed, which is somewhere after the midway through the course, you will find the assignment. This is the assignment that is going to give you the 15% score for assignments that is considered. Next one, can we register more than one test center just in case one center has problem and it's too late to register another one? No, that is not possible for you to register for 2 centers. It's not an option. However, what you can do is you can reconfirm with the center, say, you have registered now and you want to check if the center is available. You can reconfirm with them after 15 days or a little closer to your exam, say 10 days prior, to see if they're still available. So that will give you a window where you can inform us or you can use the portal to re-register for another center. You can't do it simultaneously. You can change it though after you have registered for one. Next question is, how long does it take to get the certificate after graduating? Now, it usually takes around 8 to 9 months to get the certificate because of the accreditation stamping that is required. That process does take a little long time. The certificate is not withheld by IU, but when we send the certificate, after we check the graduation requirements, when we send the certificate for the accreditation stamping, that's where it takes time. Now, that's the reason we usually advise the students that they constantly check the graduation portal. And the graduation portal can be accessed over here. Under academics, you have graduation status page. Once you click on that, you will be able to see what's the requirement that is left. So when you feel that you're coming close to graduation, make sure that it is done well in advance so that the process speeds up in some way. The next question is, how many units do we need to finish per week for BEIS? Now, this is it's actually objective to every student depending on their commitments and so on. The best way and probably the more generic way I can inform you of is go to the event schedule that is there, right? And in the event schedule, it shows you that the mid-semester exams is on 8th November. Now, for your particular course, you will have a good idea about how many modules you need to complete before the mid-semester exam, and you know your commitments. So based on that, chalk out a schedule which works in understanding how many units do you need to do in each week, right? And always keep a buffer of 1 week before the exam so that you can revise all the content for all the courses that you're involved on. So for us to give you a generic number would be difficult. We wouldn't want to restrict any student, or we wouldn't want to overquote a number over here. So that would really depend on each student. Like I said, please check how many courses you have and how many units you have to complete in it, and then chalk out the schedule. The next question is, do students of BA Arabic language need to write midterm exams in the exam center? Yes, this is a revised program. So for this semester, we would have to write it in the exam center. Do IAP students need to do community service? Yes, we have to do the community service for the IAP students as well. For community service, you can again go to the dashboard, and over there you would have the portal. So it will show you the number of hours depending on the course that you have, program that you have registered for. Okay, so for a degree program now, since this particular portal is now showing for a degree program, it shows 36 hours each semester. If you as an ILP student access the community service link, once again, I'll show you from academics block at the bottom, you see community service, then that will give you a detailed report on what is required from you, how many hours, what qualifies as community service, and how you have to submit it. At the bottom, it shows you the submission link as well. Okay, so this would be the best way to go about it, because what happens is that for every program it's different, and if I go on with those numbers, it might get confusing for the rest as well. Okay, the next question is, can exams be postponed to a suitable time of a candidate if he or she is busy? I'm sorry, that's not an option at all. The exams are something that we, alhamdulillah, we give leeways or we give concessions to students in a number of matters. But when it comes to exams, midterms and final exams, this type of concession in terms of date, in terms of time cannot be given. And that's the reason we send multiple reminders that the exams must be completed in the specified time. Next, if one has failed any single course from any previous semester, when and how is this course likely to be retaken? Okay, if you have failed a course, now once again here there is a demarcation between revised programs and the non-revised programs. So if you have failed a course from a non-revised programs, you have multiple attempts to retake that course. Okay, there is no restriction on the number of attempts that you can take, but then if it's a revised course, then you do not have more than 3 attempts to take on that course. Okay, only 3 times you will be allowed to reattempt the course, and if not it's completed by then you cannot take that course again, and which would automatically mean that your program will come to a standstill. Now, when exactly should you be retaking it? For the non-revised programs, you can take it any time throughout your program. You can postpone it to further semesters. You can take it in the prior semesters. Only thing you would have to be careful about is if that failed course is a prerequisite to any other course. If it's a prerequisite, then you will not be able to complete the next course in line, right? So you would have to plan it out accordingly. See, the reason IOU does not give us we do not provide students a proper schedule and so on and so forth, because each student's study pattern is different, each student's enrolled courses are different, each student's commitments are different. So use your event schedule as a guiding map, as a blueprint, and around that plan all your courses, and also use a graduation portal to see how many courses are pending and what are the requirements. Okay, next question. Is there any past question on each course for preparation for examination? No, we do not provide any past paper questions. The 2 ways in which you can actually prepare is using the midterm study questions and the final study questions. It serves as revision. Another thing is the module test questions. The module test questions are extremely important because they are usually the final exam questions are modeled around these modular unit test questions. The announcement, okay, Brother Wayne, the announcement tab is not activated for students to write in. Yes, of course, the announcement tab is not for the students to write. The announcement tab is only for the teachers. Students can write in the student discussion forum that is there. That's where the students will write their questions. Next question, is there an exam center in UAE? Yes, of course, we have exam centers in UAE. You can pull up the whole list and have a look at what are the centers that are available in UAE as well. Okay. Next question, will the final and midterm semester exams be multiple choice or not? If it is a revised program, then it will be in two parts. Part one would be the multiple choice, part two would be open-ended. But then if it's a non-revised programs, we will only have multiple choice questions. Sister Sana, same question. What will be the paper pattern in midterm and final exams? MCQ, multiple choice, and open-ended for revised, for non-revised, only multiple choice questions. When will the assignments be released? It will be released in the first week of October, inshallah. Next, what is the credit system? I'm an offline student. Okay. This is Sarah. If you can clarify your question a little bit. So what exactly do you want to know about the credit system, or how many credits have you completed? How many are you yet to complete? If that's your question, then the easiest way to do that is use the curriculum page as a guide to the number of credits. Now, this is not only the number of credits for each course is not only available in the curriculum page, but in your course page as well. So when you're downloading the course text in the study material, when it says the course details, right? In this file also, you will have the credits given, right? Now, using these credits, you would have to see that for full-time students, the minimum number of credits is 40, maximum is 60. For part-time, 25 for minimum, and for maximum is 40 credits. So you would have to tally it accordingly. If you need a detailed breakup on this, please do email helpdesk and we will help you with that, specific to your program and the courses that you have enrolled into. Okay, the next question, it says course waivers are available for English 101, 102. Okay. If you are, Brother Arif, if you are in a revised program and if you are seeing these courses, I'm assuming you are in the BAIS program, semester 1 for 2022. If yes, then these waivers are not available for the revised program. These waivers were available for the programs earlier and not from fall 2022. Can I reattempt the module test? No, sister, reattempting module test is not possible. Even if you get 0 on 5, that would be a module test score. You cannot reattempt it unless there is a technical issue. All right. Because of a technical issue, because of a power fluctuation, if you lost out on the test, or it just dropped down and it scored you 0, in such a case, only then and only then you can apply for a a reset. And once the reset is done, you can do. But if you're not happy with the scores and you want to apply for a reset, then that's not possible. Okay. Now, for applying the reset and all of it, you can use the dashboard under request. You have the quiz reset is where you need to apply for the reset. Okay. Now, Sister Rida, is it possible to integrate the schedule into an Outlook calendar? It would have to be done manually, Sister Rida, because we do not have an internal integration that would allow you to integrate it with Outlook. Okay, I started this week and the study plan is giving me a tough time. Right, now for the study plan, there will be a dedicated session on how to make your study plan and what tips and pointers that you can incorporate when making these study plans. That would be coming up soon. If you see your event schedule, in the event schedule, that information of these live sessions has also been added. Towards the very end, you can find that table. So from that, then you can, I would suggest you attend that session to get a good idea, because that will be conducted by our student counselor and she would give you tips and tricks on better planning as well. Now, what's the difference between B.Ed Hybrid and B.Ed English program? The courses are slightly different in each of them. In B.Ed Hybrid and B.Ed English, there will be certain courses which are not available in either program. That's the difference between the two. So Asma, how do you know your core courses? You can apply for course waiver. Course waiver for English 101 is only applicable for the non-revised programs. And if it's a revised program, then no course waiver is applicable for them. Now, if you are still seeing English 101, which means that you may be in a non-revised program if you're seeing it as English 101, and in such a case, even if your waiver is accepted, you would have to select a replacement course. So the number of courses that you complete must be 48. So you would have to select another course in its place. Another thing for those who are trying to opt for the waiver option, please be well informed that when it comes to English and the computer programs or the courses, if we have studied in an English medium school or our first language is English, so based on that, the waiver will not be given. Even for computers, if you have been, if you're well versed with using a computer and you're very good in at the technical side, and based on that, if you want to apply for a waiver, that will not be accepted. You must have proper certification in the course, that is in English and in the computer skills, in order to apply for a waiver. So when you're uploading the documents, please make sure that the proper documents are uploaded. I'm sorry, Brother Abdullah, I'm not sure. What is that? Okay. Okay, Sister Javaria is asking, if we take 4 courses, which makes 40 plus credits, other 2 courses are omitted or added to the next semester, you would have to take them in the next semester, right? If you've taken 4 courses, then you would have to take that in the next semester. There is a limit of courses that you need to complete as well before you enroll into the next semester courses. So 40 is of course the minimum number, and whatever is pending must be completed in the next semester. Brother Abdullah, your questions, I think there is a disconnect. I mean, it's being sent one after the other, so I'm not able to draw a connection between the two. Okay, Brother Ashfaq, if we fail in first term, can we attend second term and give exams together, or do we have to clear first term? I would really need to know your program for this, Brother Ashfaq. So if you are in a non-revised program, then you don't really have to clear first term and then get into the second term. Okay, unless and until there's a prerequisite course, then you will have to complete that, and only then you can enroll into the second semester courses. But apart from that, if you are in a revised program, then you would definitely have to complete first term courses. Otherwise, second term courses will not be available for you for enrollment. Can I select multiple exam centers? No, that's not an option. The only simultaneous option that we have is a non-resident center, wherein we select a center in our country and we select a center in another country in case we have any travel plans. Is there any course waiver for the BSIT degree program? No, there are no course waivers over there. Okay, so students trying to figure out who our fellow students are, best way possible for you to get actual results would be a Telegram group. Now, for for the psychology students, are we required to enroll for Arabic and Tajweed components? If you are seeing that in your course list, then you must enroll for it. Okay, so the best way to find out which other courses you need to enroll into is you need to go to the graduation status page of yours to see the graduation requirements, and based on that you will get a full list of courses that you are supposed to be doing and which are pending as well. Just one moment. Okay, so yes, this is how your graduation status page will look like. I've just picked up a random one. So it shows you the graduation requirements. That is how many courses, if you have completed so many courses, and under yet to complete, you can see that the student has got so many courses to complete. Community service requirements will be mentioned. Attested document requirements will be mentioned. So make it a habit as a student to go to the graduation status page and have a look at the end of every semester as to what is required and what is remaining. For the APSY, that is the Associate Psychology Program, do we have to register for a testing center? Then no, you do not have to register for the midterm exams. Please, I'm referring to the midterm exam and not the final exam. Associate degree in 3 semesters, if you take 7 courses per semester, associate degree comprises of 24 courses. So if you take 7 semesters in 3, that would be 21 courses, right? So that would have, you would still have 3 courses left. So you can try to take 8 courses in 2 semesters, and then the remaining, that is 8, 8, 16, and the remaining courses you can take in the 3rd semester if you wish to complete it in 3 semesters. That would go by the accelerated mode. If we drop a course in semester 1, do we need to complete it in the next? Absolutely, because any course that is listed on the graduation status page, that must be completed. Otherwise, you will not be eligible to get your program certificate. Okay, regarding doing assignment APS style, I will not be able to get into the APS style right now because that's an elaborate explanation. We do have, if you go to our IOU YouTube channel, you will find 2-hour videos on explanation for the APS style, which has been given by our the research team. They have put up these videos. So please make use of our YouTube channel. You will find a number of tutorials over there. And for the ones who had asked for a study plan as well, we have the old semester study plan videos recorded over there. So you can have a look at that and then you can start. But for the current semester as well, we will be doing a session for this. All right, that will be there, so you can attend that. But if you need to pre-plan and be ready prior to that, then you can definitely look up the YouTube videos. Right. So community service requirement, there was a recent change. So if you go to the community service page now, right, you have the updated information over there. So from the dashboard, if you click on the community service page, you will have all the required information that has been updated to what is required as of now. And yes, individual projects are no longer counted for community service. This question is being repeated. Are we allowed to register more than one test center as a backup? No, that is not an option. Like I mentioned earlier, we would suggest that you are in touch with the center, if you can call them 10 days or a week prior to your exams, and just keep confirming, so that will give you some window to change in case you're not available. Okay, so the next question is, I would like to know if B.Ed General is accredited as B.Ed in English. Yes, it is, and Alhamdulillah. How often should we look at our IOU and email account to assure that nothing has been missed? We would suggest that for your IOU account, once a day, if you can have a look, once a day or once in 2 days. Sometimes deadlines, for example, course drop deadlines or assignment deadlines, midterm deadlines, we will constantly post them. But something which is not that major, for example, course drop or some other minor deadlines, we usually post it in a window of 24 hours or sometimes a little more. So once a day would suffice. Now, a part-time student have to give to his studies having 3 subjects. Now, technically, in a week, if a part-time student gives a lesser number of hours, we are referring to say 6 to 7 hours, that would be okay. However, This would vary from student to student. Some students are able to grasp the content really quick because they must have some foundational knowledge on it, or otherwise they must have some expertise on it, at least even if it's foundational level. So they're able to grasp the content quickly. However, other students don't have any experience in it, and it's the first time they're being exposed to such content. They would take a little longer. That's why I said it's objective, but the number of hours definitely would be reduced. Okay, next question. Will acquiring a degree from here help me to get jobs outside? Okay, online degrees, we've heard that online degrees aren't much valuable. Yes, valid statement. Some countries, they do not accept, they do not recognize online degrees. So, and while other countries are okay with it, in fact, they support the fact that it is online, and that does not cause any it does not cause any discrepancy at their side. Having said that, it is always advisable to check with the institute or check with the organization where you wish to apply, or if you want to even take prior information, you can consult with the education sector that is available in your country and check if such degrees are acceptable. Another easy way of doing this is if you go to specific job sites of your country, they will give you the requirements. And in the requirements, it's clearly mentioned if online is acceptable or not. So these are different ways in which you can check with specific countries and specific organizations if they accept it or not. Next question, is it possible to take exams online if my city doesn't support? No, that's not an option at all to take the exams at home. It has to be taken at the exam center. The only time we give a concession to take the exam at home, especially, and that also would be in a properly monitored setup by a proctor, is for students with special needs. If there are students of different levels of determination or special needs, only in such cases, after a thorough review of the case, we allow to take at home. Otherwise, that is not an option to give exams at home. All right, the next question, in case we suddenly miss the weekly live session, is there a recorded video for us? Yes, of course, you will have the recorded video. It will be available on the course page under the live session tab that is there. It will be available over there. If I can show it to you right now. Yes, over here you have this live session tab, right? Over here you will find the recording of the video as well. My question is there a record? No, we don't have a record per se of whether you have completed that particular video or not. The easiest way to do that would be actually to give the module test as soon as you're done with the video, and that itself would show you that, okay, I'm done with this, and that's why module 2 is activated, which means that I have to complete module 2. Now, there is another way in which you can check this. I am not sure if I would be able to show you in this mode, but if you go to my courses at the top, give me one moment. Let me try to activate that so that it's very clear to all of us. Okay, so let me not spend time on that. So yes, so the best way for you to do is you would be able to see it on your courses, on your course window, is at the top you have a section which says, I think we're not able to see my screen right now. One moment. Okay. All right. Yeah. Over here under courses. All right. When you click on it, it will actually show you a whole set of what all courses you are enrolled in. It will show you what module, so it will show upcoming module, next module. So that is another way in which you can identify which ones you have done and which ones are pending. Exam center selection, Sister Aisha. There are the requirements that you need to go through for an exam center. Once you are thorough with the requirements for those center, you can go ahead and register for it. Okay. Now, what is an exam center? Basically, it's a place where there's a proctor, and the proctor is going to give you the password to your exam. That's the reason we ask students to go to the exam center. You will not have access to the exam from your home. Maximum, you will be able to see the link. You click on the link, it will ask you for a password, and that password is with your proctor. And the reason we ask you to register for the exam center is that the proctors will allow access to students who are on the list that is sent by IOU to them. Only then you will be able to sit the exam. That's one. Second, only when you register for that center, we will send the password list to them, right? So if you haven't registered for a center and you go to a center to write the exam, they will not be able to give you the password because we don't see them on our list. Okay, so that's the whole point about selection for an exam center. Now, grade transfer is a special feature that we have for those students who have not been able to complete their course in the particular semester for a number of reasons. Okay, now we have a revised grade transfer policy, which is not as per what it was earlier, and there are certain yeah, so that is how it is. Now, there are certain eligibility criteria for a person to qualify for the grade transfer. It is on the screen, you can read through it. But one thing I would like to highlight over here is that attempting the assignments is mandatory for grade transfer. So you would have attempted the assignments earlier and you would want to apply for transferring the grades of that assignment. That is not an option. You would have to attempt the assignment. Okay, so basically in grade transfer, you are allowed to transfer your grades. So say suppose I have completed 10 modules. Because of some reason, I'm not able to continue further. So what I do is I take these 10 modules, transfer their grades to the next semester and continue from where I have left off. Okay, but for that, there is a certain criteria over here. For example, we can see that the minimum required grades to apply for the grade transfer is 40% if and only if they have completed everything except assignments, right? Except assignments have completed everything, then only it is 40%. Suppose they have not done their midterms or the final exams, then they require 25% to apply for grade transfer. Now, this point number D is what I need you to pay special attention to. Grade transfer will not be done for these programs. Okay, this option is not applicable, not available for these programs. If you want this detailed eligibility criteria, please write to help desk and we will share it with you. Some learning management systems tell us what percentage of videos we have watched. We do not have percentage to show that, but definitely you will be able, when you click on courses over here, you will be able to see what's your next upcoming video. How do you know if you're in the revised program? If you are a first semester student, okay, that's the first criteria. You are in the first semester student and you are, fall 2022 is your first semester, all right? And you are in any one of these programs, BALS, BEd English, BBA, BSc, Islamic Banking, BEd Hybrid Specialized, these are your, including BEd, the English program that is there. These are your revised programs. Okay, if you're still not sure, no problem, write to help desk and we will let you know which program you are in. How often do we have live sessions? If these are courses for which live sessions are there on a regular basis, then it's once in a week. But if these are courses for which there are no live sessions, then it's only one pre-midterm and pre-final exam live session. That's about it, just 2 in a semester. Is Arabic obligatory for every program for graduation? If it is in your program list as per your graduation status page, then yes, it is mandatory. Can I do Sira in the first semester of BAIS? If you are in the revised program and it is coming in the first semester courses, then definitely yes, you can do so. English language study courses have been removed from the dashboard. Sister Javeria, if you have enrolled into it and then they have been removed, so I'm not quite clear on this question. You would have to give me specific details. So wasn't it there earlier? You were enrolled and was it removed? Because each one has a different way of resolving it. Okay, I am in the 4th semester of FAILS CMP Computer 101 since the 1st semester. There is a revised version of Computer 101 that has been uploaded, brother. I would suggest that we try to attempt that, and inshallah, that should be much easier. It's a different version of Computer 101. Okay, brother Abdurrahman, if you have been enrolled as a part-time student, but you have made a full-time payment, please email helpdesk and we will change the enrollment for you. But then if you have made the part-time payment itself, then you would have to again email helpdesk so that we add on the extra tag for you and you can pay the extra amount so that you can get converted to a full-time student. If it's only regarding enrollment of the courses, then you can go to the enrollment portal, academics normal course enrollment, click on this link and then try to enroll into the courses. Okay, these are the 3 scenarios that are available for you. Okay, some questions. Language usage and open-ended questions. Brother Mudassir, the language that has to be used will be specified clearly. So they will be asking you to write. So if the question itself is framed in Arabic, they will ask you to answer it in Arabic, then you have to answer it in Arabic. If they ask you to translate it, then you would have to use English. So it depends on the question, basically. Okay, Brother Wayne, I have reported 2 MCQ error reporting and nothing has been done. Okay. If you can, I would love to know probably your student ID or so that I can have a look as to what is the holdup and whether, because sometimes what happens is that the error reporting portal would have given you a response. They would have told you what the issue is and they would have given you a resolution, but the email lands up in the spam. So we would have to check, or otherwise an automated system wouldn't have sent you the email that it has been resolved. So if it has been pending for long, and when I say long, I mean beyond 72 hours or 4 to 5 days, then probably there is an issue, there's a holdup that we need to look into. Okay, how can we join the Telegram groups? We have over here under student support, we have different ways you can contact us. Okay, yes, social media student support. So you can try to use this portal in order to get in touch with the Telegram groups. Or otherwise, you can just email us and we will give you the specific link. So here you have the links that's given, this is the announcements and program study specific groups. All of these links are put over here under student support. You have social media student support and that's where you can access it. Okay, Brother Murtada, is it enough to read the slides and audios of the courses, or the recommended textbook should also be consulted? Definitely the textbooks have to be gone through. I understand that in some courses the modules or the units, they ask us to read a lot of pages, sometimes even 100 pages. But And that is necessary because the course teacher has summarized those pages in the video, but then you would have to read those pages to have a better understanding because the module test questions and so on, they do come from the book. And that would, reading those pages would definitely add on to our knowledge of that particular course. Otherwise, it would be very superficial. Yes, you can take the links of the Telegram group through this page that is there. How do you get to know your departmental colleagues? Through the Telegram channel, that's one. Second is on the student discussion forum, you can get in touch with them. These are the only two ways. Other than that, there is no there is no way in which you can get in touch with them. If you have a student committee in your area, in your country, then if you get in touch with the student committee officer of your country, that could be one way, but we cannot promise that you would meet your own batchmates. You might just meet IOU students through that. And that's good to hear, Ahbir Nagi, about the experience that you're speaking about. That's good to hear. Yes, recorded video is there. What is a course grade transfer? What do we have to do? Okay, you don't have to do it. It's not mandatory for us to do a grade transfer. It is only in case you wish you have not completed the semester and you would want to apply for grade transfer. Only in that case, it's not mandatory. If I have confused anyone saying that discussing about it, please know that it is not mandatory, but it is only for the ones who wish to apply for it. Assignment submission is soft copy. No handwritten assignments will be considered. Do we have an exam center in Thailand? Yes, we do. If I'm not wrong, I'm not quite sure about this. I would have to have a look. Right. 1 moment. Yes, so you were inquiring. Okay, so this is the link. If the admin can post the exam center link on the group, I think the students would be able to click and check if they have a center in Thailand exactly or not. Okay. All right. Yes, there is a Telegram group for psychology female students. Of course, what is the closing time for registration of center? The closing time, the registering a center will be available even up to the last date. All right. When I say last date, I am referring to at least 2 to 3 days before the exam. We have the registration will be kept open, but like I mentioned earlier, let's not keep it towards the end. The exact date will be available as soon as the portal opens up. You can have a look at it from there. There's a module or unit test. Module test, yes, they are added to the module or the unit test. Are they added to the overall grades? Yes, of course they are added. The best way for you to see is the evaluation scheme on the course page. If you see on the right side, session tests. Session tests are nothing but the module test or the unit test, and this differs for every course. If we had seen earlier, Aqida 101 was 15%, but for this particular course, it's 10%. So please have a look at the evaluation scheme so that we have a better idea about what is applicable and what is not. Yes, Sister Nasreen, the old version is still valid and is still accredited for BAIs. Brother Bello, or I'm not sure. So for that, whether there is an exam center in Libya, we do have exam centers in Libya. If you need a precise location, then please go over to the link. I would ask the admin if you could post the exam center link in the chat box for our students. Okay. Testing centers country, please check the link. Is it possible to change new and current full-time to part-time due to unanticipated time limitations? Brother Burhan, if you are in the revised program, then this is going to be a little difficult to change. You would have to raise a proper request. So it would be a formal appeal, and that has to be approved, and only then you can change your program study mode, that is from part-time to full-time or full-time to part-time. You would have to initiate an appeal for this. We will not guarantee that it would be done, but the circumstances and the reason stated by the student will be assessed, and only then the final decision will be known to the student. Okay, Brother Hamza, I hope that's clear as to how to access the Telegram support group using student support, the second part over there, social media support. That's how you can access it. Is community service done every semester? It is always advisable to do it every semester and be done with the hours that are applicable, because what happens is that if you keep it towards the end, for example, a degree program, 216 hours are required for the entire program. And if you keep it towards the end, then our graduation gets delayed. Unfortunately, we have many students of this nature who have completed all of their courses. They have completed 48 courses. They are all ready except for the community service, and they are now struggling to complete those 216 hours, and it's just making their degree delayed, right? They're not able to get the degree as soon as possible. Does the exam center have to be an Islamic organization, mosque or school? Yes, it has to be. It has to be Islamic, basically. I mean, it does not have to really be a mosque or a school, but Islamic, yes, it has to be Islamic. Sister Aisha, we are supposed to enroll courses with 40 to 60 credits. Yes, that's correct. The maximum credits for each semester is 60 if you're in the full-time mode. So if you have enrolled in that, then that's correct. Sister Amina, if you were early enrolled in spring 2022, and you were shifted to fall 2022, then by default, you would be changed over to the revised program. Is there a deadline for students to complete their programs? Okay, Brother Hamed, for the students in the old IBE program to complete their program, it is as per the old time. So in that we had part-time students who part-time students had 12 years to complete the degree, so that is still applicable. Full-time students had 8 years, sorry, to complete their degree, so that's still applicable, right? In the old one. Now, if you wish to switch from the old program to the new program, that is possible. But the condition is that you would have to restart from scratch. Whatever you've done in the old program will not be considered, will not be transferred to the new program. That would be the problem that would be there. If you are okay with that, then you can email help desk and we will make the change. Are we supposed to do with the module test after we are done with it? You mean after we are done the module 1? That is the most recommended way to do the module test. It's not mandatory, it's recommended because it's fresh in the student's mind what they have studied, and usually if they attempt it immediately afterwards, they usually score 5 on 5, right? But if we come back to it later, then we would have to spend extra time revising that content and then giving the module test, which will again take away some more of your time. Regarding assignment, submission time is till December. It depends on what course you have been enrolled into. So if it's a degree program, then yes, 1st December is your date. Okay, certificate of education and required. Arabic 101 was taken just so that it was because you wanted to be thorough with it before you enter Arabic 102. So for this, you need to go to the graduation status page over here and check which courses are written. So even if you have completed it, if it is not a part of the course requirement, it's not going to show over there, right? So you can click on the graduation status page and check the number of courses that you have completed and check later the number of courses that are yet to be completed. Cutoff mark for each module test? No, there is no cutoff mark. Dear students, I will be taking questions only for the next 5 minutes now because we have gone off the mark of 1 hour as well. I understand there are more questions. I'm going to try to cover as many and I'll not be taking the repeated ones. In Indonesia, should we use VPN to be able to watch the video? No, we haven't really come across any such case wherein students are required to use VPN. Some areas they may have to, but this depends. This depends on the connection. So we cannot say give a blanket concession that we have to use VPN. No, that wouldn't be that isn't the case. Can we go for dual program? Now, dual program has got its criteria as well. Dual program with the revised programs is not possible until and unless you are in the part-time mode for both programs. I repeat, if you are in the part-time mode for both programs, wherein there is a revised program involved, then it is possible, but that is possible only from the next semester and not this semester. Okay, but for the non-revised programs, yes, the dual program is still there as an option. Can a new student opt for old BAIS syllabus? No, I'm sorry, Sister Ivy, but that's not possible. Can I get my associate degree in psychology from my bachelor's degree in psychology? Are you, Sister Iman, are you trying to say that you have your bachelor's degree in psychology and you want to get from that an associate degree because you would have already completed those courses? Then yes, you can, but you would have to pay the graduation fee. You would have to initiate an email to the help desk asking for it so that we can do the whole process. This process is going to take a little long because we have to transfer the credits. And once the graduation fee is paid, then we can start the processing. I have been doing an hour weekly of Dharma work. So we suggest that every week what you do not upload it. You accumulate it and then you use the community service submission portal that is there. And then you go ahead in order to upload it, right? So every semester uploaded, not on a weekly or a monthly basis. I'm enrolled in BAIS and chose courses with 48 credits. Those that I didn't select, do I need to do them in the next semester? Yes, of course. We have to complete it in the next semester. Please note for the revised programs, there is no skipping of semesters involved. There is no jumping of semesters. There is, in the non-revised programs, we have the concession to take courses from across the semester. For example, I can take a course from semester 1, I can take one from semester 7. That's possible in the non-revised programs. But in the revised programs, that is not an option. We must go in order. Some ask, what's the scope of my degree? The student is an alima once he has graduated. We do not use the term alima for our BAIS graduates because the alima program usually has extensive hadith. It has extensive tafsir programs going on within it. But our BAIS program does not have that extensive level as to how it is covered. All the basics and even more than the basics is covered, okay? But we do not specialize. We do not complete the studies of, say, Sahih Bukhari. We do not finish that entire studies, which is done in some alima programs. So, and we have other courses, which is trying to have a balance between what is the regular courses, the regular skills that we need. For example, computing skill, English language skills, these are basic skills, psychology skills. We have these extra courses in our BIS program, which is not there in the Alima program, so we cannot compare it. Yes, of course, the BAIS program is a very huge add-on to each and every student's resume, because for a student to specialize in Bachelor of Arts in Islamic Studies itself gives them that wealth of knowledge and a deep understanding of the different Islamic sciences, and that is a very huge plus for students in their resume. And what we have heard from our alumni is as well, that once they see a BAIS, then the job opportunities do open up a lot. Okay, revised and non-revised. I have gone over that a couple of times, so I'm just trying to see if we have new questions. part-time student, am required to select only 3 courses in semester 1? What will be of the other 3 courses? You can select that in the other semester. Okay, so in the next semester. So if you're a part-time student, by default, you can select only 25 to 40 credits, right? So once you're done with that, then the remaining whatever is there will be in the next semester. Brother Wayne, so what you can do is that if the university is registered as our center, then we can proceed with it. Then you can give your exam over there, no problem. But if it is not registered as our center, then you would have to suggest, and then based on the requirements. Now, is this Islamic or not? That is where the problem would arise. But if you have no other center in your area and this is the only one that is applicable, then we will consider it. Okay, Sister Sahar, you're asking passing grades for MAIS. I'm not sure. Are you referring to a specific course? Are you referring to the research papers? So that's something that I would want to know. And even if I'm not able to get your question here, you can definitely go through the course components like we referred to earlier. If you go through the course components at the side, the evaluation scheme that is there, in that you will get to know what is the passing mark for it. You are in the BISR program, you can definitely keep it, especially if you have progressed quite a lot, you've completed a lot of courses in it, then for you to switch over, you would actually be, you would have to let go of all of that course progress that you have completed, right? So there's absolutely no problem in continuing with the old program. Arabic Language Studies has a master program. No, Brother Wayne, we do not have the master's program as yet. Of course, it is in the pipeline. So inshallah, within a couple of semesters, you would be able to see the master's program as well. Do I need computer with Arabic keyboard for the study program? Okay, for IAP students, you do not really need a computer with Arabic keyboard. All right, if you are comfortable with that, that's okay. But if not, there is a site which is Arabic Lexi Logos. Let me try to show it to you right away. So if you click onto this site, the Arabic Lexi Logos, yeah, so here, this allows you to type in Arabic. So you can type in Arabic over here and then copy paste it. That is applicable, especially for the assignments. So this site usually comes in handy over there. In case this is a little difficult, you would want an Arabic keyboard, then you would have to go to control panel on your system and then download the Arabic keyboard if you are comfortable with that. Can I change from full-time student to part-time? I've already answered that. There's a procedure for it. Please email help desk, citing your reasons for it. OEQ question pattern, it is completely based on how the examiner would like to set the questions, all right? These are open-ended questions. There is no specific pattern given for it, okay? Okay, I still have, okay. This is my second time question, even if I've sent an email. Brother Sajid, if your email ID is starting with Sajid Ahmed itself, or your name is registered as Sajid Ahmed, then I will have a look and we'll get back to you seeing on what the issue is. Like I mentioned earlier, if there's a problem with enrollment and it's showing you a credit mistake, so it's showing you that you've enrolled into more credits and so on and so forth, you are requested to email it to helpdesk, and helpdesk will get back to you only after sometimes 24 hours, sometimes 48, but this is the peak period, so usually it might get delayed to 72 hours. Now, if you are looking for immediate solution, we would definitely suggest to use the chat option over here at the bottom right. It will be running for around 20 hours. At some points you might not find a chat officer because they must have taken a break for Salah or of that nature, or some sort of that break, but they will be available and we will try to resolve it ASAP if your email has been pending for quite a lot of time. Okay. If I register for part-time in one semester and register for full-time in second semester, Sister Farah, if you are in the revised program, this is not an option. The study mode that you have selected will remain your study mode. If you have a pressing concern because of which you would like to make this change, then in that case, you would have to email help desk with a detailed circumstance as to why do you want to request this change, and we would need approval then in order for us to go ahead with it. If in case I lose my contact or get blocked, Professor Suleiman, I'm not sure what contact are you referring to. Are you referring to program contact? I'm not sure. Do we memorize the ayahs in psychology for the exams, or is it for our knowledge? Sometimes in psychology, they will ask you so they will give you in the options, they might give you which ayah is applicable to the scenario, or sometimes they will ask you to interpret the ayah. They've given you the ayah, they'll ask you to interpret it, and there are a number of options that you need to click on. So you don't have to memorize them per se, but you definitely need to know in what context, in what scenario has that ayah been used. You don't have to memorize it. You don't have to know it word to word. Okay, dear students. Brother Ayan, regarding a question about weekly live sessions, it will not affect your participation grade if you listen to the recorded sessions. Okay, so that should be covered in that. All right. Okay, dear students, I think that's about it. I hope I have been able to answer your queries. I hope I have been able to give you some clarity into your studies. Of course, 1 hour or 1.5 hours is not enough to resolve all our queries, but we as the help desk, we are there for student support through multiple media. If you have representatives in your country, you can reach out to them, or through the chat that I just showed over here, bottom right. This, you can use the chat option, you can use the email option, you can use the Telegram groups to reach out to us, or we have different people who are out there ready to support. So if you feel that things are getting a little difficult, please do not give up. The only thing is these are thoughts, these are also put in our minds by Shaitan, and we do have our commitments, I understand. So reach out to the right sources, reach out to the right channels, and we will assist you. We will help you get through it. Okay, inshallah. So I hope and pray that your studies and the way you complete your studies with IAU is filled with ease and barakah, and you are able to get through it successfully, inshallah. Okay, so that's about it from our end. Thank you, Jazakallah khairan kathira, for your time and for being here with us. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.